Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple weeks since we've done a video, and I haven't done one of these unboxing videos in quite a while. The last handful of submissions, I haven't bothered to go through that. There really hasn't been anything exceptional that really was exciting enough, I thought, anyways, to share. But this 46 coin submission just came back yesterday, last night, and there's a few things in here that I'm curious to see how they worked out. A lot of proof Franklin Halves with, you know, they're probably going to grade 66, most of them. There might be a couple of cameos, if we're lucky, but maybe not. I know how tough they are to get, so we hold our expectations low, and we'll see what happens. We have a very low-grade 1909 S Lincoln cent that I sent in for two reasons. Mainly to authenticate the mint mark because it's pretty much almost invisible. It's very damaged and worn away. Part of me is hoping that we'll get that poor 1 grade and it'll do better as a low ball than anything else, but I'm thinking it will probably come back with a fair or details grade because I think it's damaged, if I remember, certainly cleaned. So we'll see what happens there. There's a couple of Jefferson nickels that were just sent in on a whim. 1955, I think, full steps. MS66, which is not an outrageously high grade for those, I think are surprisingly valuable. And I had a few rolls of 1955 nickels that were nicely toned, and we'll see what happens there. We have those INS or Morgan dollars that were, you know, from the late 70s, early 80s, probably 80s actually. Heritage Auctions sister company, INS, they wrapped them up and put them in those flips from a few videos ago. I think there was 3 1881S and an 83 or 84O, I don't even remember. I haven't clicked on the submission in quite a while, so I honestly don't even remember everything that's in there. But there's also a 1951 proof set and a 1953 proof set at the end. Again, my expectations on those are low. I don't think there's any cameos. You know, the average grade will probably be 64 or 65 on most of those. There might be a surprise or two, good or bad, probably more leaning towards bad. But we will cut this box open. Doug Gallant from Santa Ana, that's obviously the PCGS. And this is 46 coins, so there's probably 3 boxes in here. That's about the size of the box. It's a square, so there's probably 1, 2, 3 boxes and then a pocket with the paperwork. So we're going to get to cutting this open, and we'll be back shortly. All right, guys, we are back, and we are just open up the box. It's still, everything's packed inside the PCGS. Packing material, slab boxes are still inside. We're just kind of testing the camera setup because you all know one of the biggest challenges I have is good lighting and a good reproduction of what the coins actually look like in hand. And I'm just kind of messing around with the lighting to make sure we get at least an adequate representation of what we're going to see. Just in terms of quality and color, luster, etc. This plastic wrap is about the size of a slab, so it doesn't quite fully capture, but it mostly does. And this is probably as good as it's going to get, so I do hope that this works out. Go ahead and unpack this box. I will say one thing, PCGS does an excellent job of packing. And as I expected, we do have 3 boxes in here. That's the light one. So that'll probably be the end of the submission. Of course, I'm saying they love to provide you with additional submission forms, so that's a good thing. Alright, so we got the 3 boxes. C of C, B of C, A of C. So A is first, B is second, C is third. You see these are still intact, so we haven't looked at the grades online. We have no idea what we're in for. And I'm going to get the knife back, cut those open, recheck the lighting and setup on this. This is an iPad, so that's the best we can do. We don't have a webcam or any other type of light box or anything like that. So we're going to run raw and see what happens. We'll be back shortly. All right, we are ready to resume this adventure. We have the boxes cut. We have the slabs facing opposite direction, so we can't see the grades. And we will kick this off. This will be the grade, or the protector to prevent us from seeing the grade when we first analyze the coin. We will start always looking at the back to see if we have a genuine, and in this case we don't. I guess this is one of the proofs. I don't know why it's the first coin. Is this A? Let me just make sure this is A. It is A. All right, I don't remember the order I sent these in, so I guess we'll find out. I really thought that the proofs weren't at the beginning, though. We're going to get a lot of that glare on that light bulb, unfortunately. Hopefully the next time we do one of these, we'll have a better setup. But for now, this is what we have to deal with. Oh, this is the proof set. Why is this the first? This should have been the last. Wow, okay, so this is part of the 1953 proof set. I thought these would be last. They would definitely last on the submission form, so it's kind of curious to see them at the beginning. So here's the 1953 half dollar. I was kind of hoping to save this one for near the end. Since we got it, we'll go through it. It was part of a, this was not in original government packaging. This was in a capital holder proof set that I bought at auction back in the summer. Certainly no cameo. We're just trying to figure out what kind of grade we get. And I had predicted a 65, I think. It's got decent mirrors, it's got toning. Not a lot of bag marks, but it's not super nice. You get some color that we're not really picking up with the camera down on the lettering and In God We Trust, and up in the Liberty you can see hints of auburns and greens and teals. If that reflection of that light bulb wasn't as, let's see if I move it back a little bit away. But you get the dark and then the light. That black, it's not black-white, that's not what I mean, but that contrasting, depending on which angle you're holding it at. Yeah, I mean, I think it's 64. That's my guess, 64. I don't really see this quite making it to the 65 level, but I have no experience sending these in. I've looked at a lot of them, other ones that have been graded, but I don't see this getting much above a 64. Oh, I think I just saw the grade at 65, yeah. I mean, I said 65 when I sent it in, so I think that's fair. I think that's accurate. I think it's, it's a decent coin. It is what it is. Not exactly sure the value of a proof 65 without a cameo on a 1953, but it's certainly a better date and certainly a better coin. So I'm assuming that we're going to go to the quarter next, and we already see, no, we have a penny that's not gradable. So I'm guessing this is part of that proof set. Wonder why it's not gradable. I guess we'll find out. Let's see if we can identify what the problem is, if this is even... Oh no, this is a 1909 VDB. These are all mixed up. Let's see the VDB. So this one's probably cleaned. This one was just a throw-in. I was just trying to get an idea of how they would grade. I was looking for an AU58. Oh, the lighting is no good. Let's see if we can get it better. Maybe it's the copper color. Let's see. Yeah, up against a better background. Let's flip it over and have a peek at the obverse. I was looking for an AU58 on this one, so I mean, I don't see any hairlines or anything of significant cleaning that stands out immediately to me, but again, I don't send a lot of these in either. I send Lincoln Cents in, but not close to mint state. Early ones like this. Questionable color, unk detail. How about that? That's fascinating. That's the first time we've gotten Ben's favorite, Ben the Coin Geek's favorite designation. Well, I thought it wasn't clean, so I guess unless it has more than one problem, I guess they're not a fan of that color for some particular reason. It's interesting. It was in a Whitman album forever. So whatever unnatural color that may have happened probably happened a long time ago, because I know that that Penny album was another one without non-gradable. I can't remember what this one was either. Oh, yes, 1909S. Okay, this one I expected a genuine grade because it was damaged. I just wanted the genuine. This is the 09S, I believe, Indian scent. And I just wanted to get it graded for authenticity purposes. These are all out of order. I'm really surprised they did that. I've never done that to me before, where they've mixed them all up. So we were, yeah, there's a scratch, that's right. That's why I said damaged. Going by memory, but again, I just wanted, there's a lot of added mint marks. There's a lot of counterfeit 1909S Indian scent. So to get it in a genuine holder helps with its resaleability, the fact that it's genuine. So obviously scratch, damage, probably clean, probably everything. And we do have VF detail with a scratch, so I thought it was fine detail. Liberty is pretty much all there. It's a little bit weak on the B, on the Y. You know, if it didn't have the scratch, if it didn't have problems, I had it as a fine 15, but I won't complain with the VF detail. That helps. So we knew that one was going to have problems, so that's not a big deal. We just, again, wanted to get that authenticated. All right, we got one here without problem-free coin, and I can't remember what, oh, this might be the 09S, but I thought it was more worn. This might be the 14D. If there was a 14D, yeah, this can't be the 09S. Yeah, 14D. Okay. All right. And it's a straight grade. I think I had this at fine 15. Wouldn't it be nice if it bumped up a little bit higher? But I don't see it being any better. It's too flat on Lincoln's ear. Might even be a very good 10, now that I'm looking at it. You get full bold rims, all the lettering is there. The lettering does not bleed into the rims. The wheat stocks have some lines. It's like a very good 10, fine 12 liner to me. So when it's a liner, they usually go low, because you work your way up. Can you get to the next level? Can you get to the next level? Anytime it's a liner, you're going to stay at the grade below. So I'm going to say VG10. Let's see how far off I am. Yep, all right. it's good. It's decent. It's very close to fine, but I think the flatness on the ear kind of like kills any chance it would have had. So, decent coin though. VG10, you know, a couple $100 maybe. So, all right, that's so far so good. I mean, I think only one that's been mystifying is the questionable color. We're only 4 coins in. Another genuine coming at you. Probably the 09S. Again, we knew that 09S was going to come back with genuine because it was damaged. And we just wanted it authenticated. We were hoping for the poor one, but this doesn't look like it. This looks way too... Okay, this is a 31S. All right. This one was just kind of thrown in. Like I said, these are all out of order. Wonder what the problem is with this. We were just trying to get like a VF25 or VF30 just for the heck of it, but clearly that's not happening. I wonder if that, I'm gonna guess they're calling it cleaned. And there could be some cleaning in that obverse right field. Yeah. All right, that was a throw in. We didn't have high hopes on that either. These are so out of order, I don't know what we're getting. All right, moving on to a nickel. Could this be one of the 1955s that we were talking about? I don't think we're going to get full steps, but you can't tell with this crappy camera shot. I think that was the initial hope, was to get a 55 nickel with full steps and a 65 grade. They're really tough to give out those full steps. Let me see if I can get a better, without moving the camera so much. I mean, it's close, right? A little broken up in the lower left corner there. Above the N in Monticello. Probably not going to get it. When in doubt, they don't grade them with full steps. So we're going to say, let's look at the obverse. Yeah, I was, again, thinking these are 65s. Yeah, 55 is a mark in front of the cheek and on the cheek, so it's probably going to hold the grade down the more I look at it now. Probably not the best pick of them all, so probably a 63 or 64. I'll say 64. 63, there's a big cut on the forehead. I'll say 63, no full steps. Oh, we got a 66. I clearly don't know how to grade these. But no full steps. Now, if that had full steps on a 66, I'm not looking at the price guide or I'm not looking at gray sheet, but I think it's 3 figures. They're hard to get. All right. I don't send nickels in, so I don't know how they grade them. This is my first ever submission of Jefferson nickels, so let's take a look at this other 55. See if we have any better shot of getting the full steps. I see why they didn't on the last one, the lower left corner. Now this one doesn't have that abrasions or absence above the N in Monticello, but it does have a little weakness above the C, and you got a bag mark under that third pillar from the left. That bag mark right there. I know I don't have a pointer. Let me use the tip of the knife. But there's that bag mark right there, and a little bit of weakness right there. So I will have to say that based on that little bit of weakness, we will not get the full steps on this one either. So these were sent in strictly on the possibility of a 65 with full steps. I think the luster on this one is nicer. They'll probably grade it weaker. We've got spots above the 5 cents. So that probably will hurt it. Let's see what the obverse looks like. I don't see as many bag marks. I don't see the luster being quite as nice. There is a couple of spots. It's not ungradable, so that's not corrosion, PVC, unless they missed it. A couple bag marks on the cheek. I mean, if the last one was a 66, I guess this is probably close. Yep. No full steps, though. Maybe that camera view is a little better. Not zoomed in so much. At least I don't feel totally stupid. The grades were high enough to warrant sending them in. There's one more. I think we sent 3 in. I think this is the last chance for full steps. So hard to get them. And if the first 2 weren't, then this one isn't either. Just and I say that because of the marks above the N and the T in Monticello. There's some weakness there, a little more weakness over here. A couple small bag marks. So I don't think we'll get full steps on any of these. But this one's a much cleaner reverse, except for that little scar to the right of the S and 5 cents. The fields are nice. A little bit of a weak strike, a little mushy on the Monticello itself. Let's see what we got on the obverse. Yeah, too many bag marks. This one might be 65. It's very pocked up on the cheek. So if those 2 are 66, I'll say this is a 65. I don't think it's going to make the same grade. We got a spot of corrosion right there that they missed. I suppose they all will have a little bit of corrosion, probably. All right, we're going to say 65. 66. All right, I guess the bar is not that high for a 66 on these, because I would, originally I said 63 or 64. I was way off. Now we move on to Barber half dollar. This Omen, this might be a 19090. At least it's not genuine. I think we were hoping for a fine 12, if I remember. The Omen Barber halves, obviously weakly struck like the Omen Morgan dollars. We get about half of the eagle's wing feathers. When I say half, halfway to the tips. Weak, obviously. No horizontal shield lines, or very few. Eagle neck feathers are weak. I used to collect barber halves and barber quarters for many years. I had multiple sets in very fine and AU58. This is looking like a VG10, but with that weaker strike. This could be a fine. Let's have a look at the obverse and see if we can get to the fine grade. So there's a presence of all of 7 letters of Liberty, but only about a third of the B and half of the E, half of the R. I think this is going to hold it. Oh, it's an 070. All right, I think it's going to hold it down to a VG10. We're hoping for a possibility of a fine 12, but I don't quite think we're there. So a little bit scratch there, but circulation scratch. We'll say VG10. And we did make it to fine. It's close. It's really close. Obviously, PCGS is factoring in the weakness of strike. Because you've got the denticles, you've got a little bit of 6-sided separation on some of the stars. So 3-dimensionality, so it's struck up. There's still some upward roundedness to the designs. You got a full motto, E pluribus unum. All right, fine 12, that's kind of what we were hoping for. We have another Barber half. I'm hoping the 090 grade's solid. This one's very similar. We got a Denver Mint. I think it's an 08D. Very similar in terms of overall detail. Weakness here, almost identical. So if the last one was a fine 12, based on what this obverse brings, yeah, almost identical. The same weakness on Liberty, a little more of the B, a little more of the E and R. A little more 3-dimensionality on the stars. 15D, okay. Well, we have an 08D as well and an 090 so I think I'll say another fine 12 on this one. Yeah, I agree so far with what we've seen for the most part. All right, another one that is not genuine, so that's good. Another D. This must be the 08D. A little more detail on the wings. A little more detail on the horizontal lines, and a little thicker on the neck feathers. Overall detail is just a tad bit stronger, so I'm seeing this right off the rip as a fine 15. You can see the Liberty is a lot more bold. Pretty much 100% complete, with a hint of weakness at the bottom of the B and E. All the stars have just about, except for star 1 and maybe star 6, but the rest of them all have some, if not full, three-dimensionality. This one's pretty close to VF20, but I still think it's not quite there. Oh, it's another 15B. I'm going to say it's a fine 15. Although VF20 wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think it's there. I'm going to say fine 15. Yeah, it was close. I knew it was close. That's good. It was close. I would have gave it a 15. We know we're going to get a genuine in here somewhere. All right, well, we didn't get the 090 back. And this is not genuine. I was not expecting this one to come back straight graded, because every time I send an AU58 or a Mint State Walker in, they reject it. We're going to take a brief break after this. Warm the coffee up, hit the restroom. Yeah, this is a 41 Walker. I was looking for an AU58. Could be an MS62 or 63. It's got pretty much full luster. I'm kind of surprised they straight graded it. They never straight grade these when I send them in. All right, I'm going to say it says 63. There you go. We'll be right back, folks. All right, we are back with a fresh coffee, and it's a Saturday morning here in New England, just south of Boston. December 9th, 16 days away from Christmas. Are you all ready? Have you been naughty or nice? Will Santa come down your chimney? Will he fit down your chimney? Do you own a chimney? All right, well, I was honestly not expecting this grade from this coin. This was pulled out of an album. Hard for me to really distinguish, and I still struggle with AU58 versus Mint State on the Walkers. Other coins I have a better grasp, but Walkers are always tricky to me. You know, you look for that split thumb. You sort of have it, right? You have that thumb, which doesn't always exist. Super common date. Yeah, cool. All right, that's a win. I'm sure we'll be disappointed again soon. Now, what are we at here? Is this one of those toned Franklins? I think it is. We had a bank wrapped roll that really wasn't a bank wrapped roll, but it was. It was a 1958 somewhat modern era roll. Certainly wasn't original, but it was probably from the 70s or 80s. And a guy sold it to me off Craigslist. He had a bunch of rolls, and they were similar. So they'd been tucked away for a while. They were certainly uncirculated Franklin half-dollar rolls, but the roll fell apart, and the top and bottom coin had incredible toning that I thought they would call artificial. And apparently they didn't, because it's not genuine. So the fact that they call that VDB penny questionable color and this one not, because I really didn't expect this one to come back straight, but I threw it in. What alarmed me is these greens and blues down here. They almost look painted on to me. But I knew it was original. So I got to tip my hat to them. I don't know how they do it. Because if I had to say, you know, what is artificial toning or what isn't, and someone showed me this coin and I hadn't known its history or heritage, I would say it's definitely questionable color. PCGS got it right, and I got to give them credit. So I don't think we have full bell lines. We weren't expecting anything like that. We were just trying to send this in as a toner. And, you know, if we can get a 64 You know, that'll be a home run, maybe even a 65. Probably a 4. Yeah. I mean, I think that's great. That color alone will probably be very appealing to one or two of the eBay bidding population. So there's one or two more of these. That was the most vibrant of them all, except for this one. The reverse on this one was the other end of that bank wrapped roll, and again, it's not genuine, so kudos PCGS. No full bill lines again, but once again, the true view is going to look amazing. I think the luster is better on this one. We might even see a 5. I think the luster is a lot stronger on this one, and the color is just magnificent on the reverse. I'm going to go on a thin limb and call it a 65. Nope. No, sir, they say. They're pretty tough. I don't know why. There's no marks. Very few. There's a few. Very minor. That field is super clean. The cheek is, I mean, it's pretty clean. The reverse, very clean. Not quite sure why they wouldn't bump that one up, but gotta call them, I mean, I gotta give them credit because they got the color part right. So this is a 59. I don't even know why this was sent in. 59D, that was the other bank wrapped roll that fell apart. I think it was the end coin. There's no full bill lines, there's too many bag marks. And it's nothing special. Maybe I thought it was a 65. Not really sure why I sent this. Oh yeah, this one did have color. See, I don't remember this submission as well. Not as much color. But you got that big bag mark across his head up here. So if the last two were 64s, this is probably a 3. That's another 4. All right, well, we get some toners to sell, so that's cool. What's next? Do we get into the proof yet? Probably. Yep. And we got a bunch of these proofs, and they're all probably going to be similar. There's a couple that are better than the others, but again, I've never sent proof Franklins in, certainly not in mass. Was this one I was hoping for a cameo? Several of them I was thinking they had a shot. I mean, look at that contrast in the lettering. You got to look for the contrast everywhere, not just on Franklin and the Fields, but on the Liberty, the date, In God We Trust. And you need it on the reverse. I mean, I think it's a cameo, but what I think and what PCGS thinks, two totally different things. We got it, but only a 4. They are tough, huh? I really thought it was a 5. Well, we got a cam. That alone is a minor victory, but we couldn't get above that 64 grade. They are really, really tough. All right, let's move on. I'm sure it's downhill from there. My guess is they put the cameo at the front. It's probably going to go downhill quickly, but let's see. I don't know about this one. I don't think there's enough contrast. At that angle, it's really not there. That angle, it's better. I don't think it's what they want, although, Jesus, it's there, isn't it? Could we have another 64 cam? What do you need to get a 5 out of these people? I guess you need cleaner fields and not as many marks, couple hairlines above N. And they look at them very closely. I don't think they just roll the dice, but that reverse might keep it out of a cameo. I'm going to say no cam 64, just my gut. Whoa, I couldn't be further from the truth. Now what the heck? How does this get a 67 and the other got a 64. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. That's a home run right there, baby. That's a grand slam. Yeah, I mean, at certain angles, it's nicer, isn't it? I should put my glasses on before I do this. Wow. Well, folks, I did a video on these. You can scroll back about 5 or 6 videos ago, and you'll see these were looked at before they were sent in. That's amazing right there, man. That's pretty much makes the whole submission as far as I'm concerned. I guess they really like that one. Wow. 67 cam. Well, before we go to the next one, just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. Let's have a look at the price guide. I know the price guides are ambitious, but I can't help myself. I'm going to go to proofs. I'm going to go to 1961. I'm going to obviously pop on the cameo. I'm not even sure what the pops are. It's got to be near second from the top. Does it go as high as 69? Yeah, there is a 69. So there's got to be 68. So 67 is, yeah, it's only 100 and a quarter. I really thought it was better, but it's still a good, it's an accomplishment. I mean, the 64 cam is going to be a dog, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's as common as the day is long, but wow, 68 is where the bread starts. I'm still happy with it because I was not expecting a 67. All right, my moment of happiness is quickly snuffed out. This one is no cam. No way. No possible way. No cameo on this one, that's for sure. Probably just sent in for its lack of quality. Yeah, 65, 66 at the most. No cam. I'm going to say 65, 66. Okay. Yeah, some of these were sent in just based on their perceived quality. I would say that the cameos were first. That's probably what they did, is put the cameos up front. So my guess is the rest of these are not cameos, and certainly this one is not. And I knew that. I knew there was only a couple. So I think we just sent a few extras in that we were hoping for 67s. This one is close. I'm not seeing too many distractions. Certainly no cameo, but the fields are nice and clean. It's frosty, the luster is strong, the strike is full. I mean, strike isn't as much of a consideration on proofs because of how they're made. I'm going to go on a thin limb and say if the last was 66, this is a 7. Yep. Yeah, that's cool. 67 no cameo is probably a $50 coin. $42 coin, so it's not that spectacular. Not even worth grading, really, but it was a fun experiment. We have a couple of 1962 and 63s coming up after. There's another non-cameo. It's better than the last two, but it's not enough to be a cameo. Yeah, another 67 probably. Yep. I think they put them together, and that's probably why they're out of sequence. I think they will lump the grades together. That's why we're seeing them progressively go up. 64 cam, 67 cam, and then 67's no cam. 66 and 67. But we do have more 1961s to go, so I wonder if that means there could be a 68 in here. And see if we go backwards in grade on any of these. If we regress down to 66 or lower, then my theory's wrong. That's a very clean reverse. No cameo, but What a beautiful, beautiful reverse. I mean, is this a shot 8? I don't know. We have to see the obverse. Nope, I don't think so because of that. A little bit of streaking under the L&I and Liberty. A couple of scattered marks. Probably hold this to a 7. What's it take to get to an 8? I have no idea. I've never gotten that grade in my life. Even lower, 66, so my theory is blown out of the water. All right, that's kind of good to know because it keeps us guessing at least. I thought that was a 7 if the others were. Really hard to get above that 66 level. Another very clean reverse. We won't spend a lot of time on these because they're all very similar. Yeah, probably another 6, couple marks in the right field. Yeah, if the last was 6, looking, yeah, we're going to say 6. Yep. We'll probably have another couple of 61s, and then we got the 62. I think the 63 has a shot cam, if I remember. 1963 I'm talking about. Yeah, that mark is going to kill this grade. One little mark and it's over. It does have some contrast, but not quite enough for a cameo, and certainly not on the reverse. So there's no cam here. We're going to say 66. Oh, that's a 7. That's hard to believe with that mark. That makes me think if that mark wasn't there, would it be a 68? That's a tough grade to get. A couple of milk spots. It's another 6 or a 7. I guess we'll go 6 to be conservative. Another 7. I can't figure out what separates the 6 from the 7. There's 1 6 I thought was a 7, and 1 7 I thought was a 6. 1 7, the cameo 7, I thought was a 4. Clearly, I would not pass their application process to become a grader. Certain series, not Franklin Halves. Now this one seems pretty clean all the way around. I mean, you see those, I don't even know how to describe them other than it's just a reflection of the metal. I don't really see any bag marks or any problems with this one at all. Nothing to speak of. So, what do you need to get to a 68? Yeah, now that I got the angle, see if I can reproduce it. I just had it. Okay, right. That line going right above the N. Is that gonna kill it? Probably, right? Yes, wow. I can't believe that's not a 7. I don't see anything. It's got to be a product of the luster. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Sharp. Oh, okay, 61 again. Let's see if we're any different date. We're up to 62. All right, no cameo. Good contrast though. Obverse does have contrast, not enough on the reverse. No, we're not going to cam this, no way. I mean, it looks like a 6 based on what I've been seeing. Not even, a 5. So that was a dog. All right. Having a hard time figuring out the grading on these. This one I think is a shot cam, at least a reverse. I think we have maybe enough on the devices. Although the Liberty Bell, I don't know, it's close. Certain angles it's there, other angles it's not. Probably not. Yeah, say no cam. Let's see what the obverse looks like for the heck of it. '66, no cameo. 67. I might as well just throw darts against the wall. Because my guesses are just purely guesses at this point. Is this my 1963? One of them, I can't remember. I might have one more 62. This is no cameo. Nothing spectacular either, probably just a throw in. Yeah, the last of the 62s, we get some toning. '65, I don't think the luster is good enough for anything better. '66. This should be a 1963. I think there's two of them. No, another 62, I'm wrong. And another 65 or 6. Definitely no cameo. Some of these were just kind of thrown in. We'll say 6. Okay. You can get one right once in a while. Blasphemy to talk over a Jimmy Page solo, especially Heartbreaker, but heard it a million times. No cameo here. 66. 66. 7. I don't know what separates the two. This is one more 63, and this might be the shot cam. Let me see. Maybe I'm just misremembering. It's been so long. There's no cameo here, so unless there's another one after this, I thought there was only two 1963s. Could be wrong. It's been a while since I've sent these in. Yeah, there's no cameo here. We've got, I don't know if that's on the case or on the coin, those lines. If it's on the coin, we're going to be down to a 63 or 4. Hard to tell. It's got to be on the coin. The case is brand new. Slab. Is that the last of them? Oh, we do have one more. I thought I had a shot cam on these one of these 1963s. I'm not seeing it though. Yeah, this obverse has that somewhat cameo appearance. We get some bag marks, but the reverse is just not there. Oh, we're not going to get it. It's just not enough frost. 66. 67. Should be the last of them. Yep, that was the last of them. I don't know if these are the INS dollars. They might be. If it is, this is the 81, one of the 81S's. This is one of those. This could be one of those. I don't remember. It doesn't look like it is. What else could it be? I can't remember. Well, let's see what date we have. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the INS dollars that we looked at a few videos ago. So, sister company of Heritage Auctions. And these were all MS65 back in those old holders, so I think it's pretty much a 65. About a 6. About a 6, folks. That's what's up. I knew those coins were nice. Heritage undergraded them, but that was back in the day, old school grading. So that's good. We have 2 more 81S's and then that 83 or 84O. Die polish lines. Raised die polish lines. There's a bag mark. Not a lot of bag marks though, is there? There is a video, a few videos back of these when they were raw. There's a couple bag marks to the right of the wing, but a little bit of chatter to the right of the wreath in between America. And we're talking zoomed in and magnified. Above the eagle's head there's some marks, and above "In God We Trust." Let's see what the obverse looks like. A little bit of chatter to the cheek. Yeah, this one could be a 5. If that one was a 6, this is probably a 5. I don't think it's a 6. Never know. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. That's my best grade. I have a video called Chasing 67. And I can't believe we got to it. On a Morgan dollar. Don't put that in your pipe and smoke it to all the people who thought those coins weren't what I thought they were. I bought them from a guy in New Jersey, a coin dealer. He sold me all 4 of them for 110 bucks each, and I knew the minute I bought them that they were an excellent buy. Had to buy raw coins for over $100. I knew those were special. And we still got 2 more. Even with that little bit of chatter, we hit the 67 grade. That's a home run, folks. This one doesn't seem to even have any of that chatter. Well, we do have some scattered chatter on this one. Big one right there. So this one, probably a 5, right? Didn't notice any of that as significant as that when these were raw. At least I don't remember. Still very nice because this is zoom magnified and we are looking at the fine details. So this still has a shot 6, but I think it's too much chatter. I'd say 5. Yeah. That chatter is magnified by the camera. When you look at this in hand, it's really not even there. And that reverse is just pretty much flawless. To get 2 66s and a 67 out of those 81Ss is just remarkable. And then here is the O mint. Maybe it's an 83O, 84O. Some chatter below states. You know, the reason that they are grading these so high is this is what original luster looks like. So although they will grade coins that have been dipped and even coins that have been over dipped, that is dipped too many times, they will punish them. Or I wouldn't say punish, they will grade them accordingly. 83L. So again, we do have that little bit of chatter. Based on what we saw last time, I mean, there's a die crack. You have to really zoom in, zero in on it, hold it at the perfect angle like there to see all that minor chatter. This is what original luster, original surfaces in a well-preserved Morgan dollar looks like. That's a pretty good strike for New Orleans, too. I'm going to have to give this one a 6. Nope, 64 plus. That's very interesting. It's only the second plus grade I've gotten from them in 2 years. That's interesting. How does that not make it to a 5? Must have just missed. So that's the only head scratcher so far, but again, I defer to them. Here we have a proof, part of a proof set. What do we think? Red, brown? I think red, brown off the rip. I know it's really hard to see on this crappy lighting setup and camera. Sorry for that light bulb reflection. There's really not a whole lot I can do about it until I get a better setup. I want to say this is the 53 because the 53 had more toning. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Yep. Nice toning. 66 red brown. All right, 66 red brown. That's just a guess. No idea how they grade them. 65 red brown. Close enough. I guess we've got the proof nickel next. I don't think there's a single cameo in the 51 or 53 proof set. $65? Nope. God, I can't grade these. Yeah, let's put them on a platform because we got a dime coming up, and that's this one I think had amazing toning. Try it on the white background. Yeah, get a little better. Get the colors down in the 1 dime. And in the lettering of States of America on the torch. Pretty. A 7 would be a nice grade. We'll say 6. All right. I'm really just guessing. All right, the quarter, I think, was the 51 quarter or the 53 quarter. One of them had the, yeah, nice toning. I think the 53 set was the one with all the nice toning. I think the 51 quarter is the closest to a cameo of all of them. I think I said that on the video before I sent it in. This one has beautiful toning. Not seeing really too many bag marks. Not sure what would hold this one out from a 66 or better. Oh, 7. I don't want to say 7, so I'll say 6. Yeah. I had a feeling it might be a 7. I'll go down to the last 6 coins. So that means we have the 1951 proof set. Oops. And one more. what that one more is. Oh, this might be it. It's probably the 09S. We haven't seen that yet. This is the 09S penny, it's got to be. Do not hold her, no service refund, 1909S. This is the one we were looking for a poor one. It must be so worn that they can't completely authenticate it. They can't say it's not genuine, they can't say it is. So that's what happened to that. And that's why we were looking for the poor 1 or the fair 2 grade. And that's what I was talking about. That O in the date must be really messing them up. Maybe they can't tell if it's a 1919 because you notice, oh, they do put the date. No service refund. It's interesting, you get a refund at least. I'm going to guess they just can't 100% confirm its authenticity, but why would they call it a 1909S Lincoln? It's interesting. They don't give you an explanation, so you're left trying to figure it out on your own. But that's the only thing that makes sense to me. All right, you know what? We're going to go reverse order. We'll save the $50 for last. They've gone out of sequence again. We'll start with the penny. This one might be a red. Oh, yeah, a little bit of toning. This one was in, this proof set was in the original government packaging. Came out of the cellophane holders. There's a video on that several videos back as well. Interesting to see if they call it red. Cover the grade. Not sure what it takes to get a red proof Lincoln early 50s. It looks red to me. Red brown wouldn't surprise me. I'm going to go on a thin limb and say 66 red. Look at that. I did not look. I'm just kind of going by the way they've graded things. Yeah, I mean, if that's not red, what is, right? Hard to get the red on the proof set. I'm checking that value out. That's a pretty good one. Let's find the nickel. Okay. Pretty good. Don't see any major distractions there. Luster is good. This one might make it to 7. I'm going to say 7. Nope. No cigar, they say. Now I kind of want the whole proof set in 66 just to have it match. Dime. No cameos for sure. Hard to get them. Probably another 6. Six. 7. Jesus. Why? What is separating one from the other? It's a very fine line, whatever it is. All right, quarter and then the $50, and we are done. This was the one that was closest to a cameo, and it's not a cameo. I'm just saying it was the closest. See why I say that, but the Liberty is not cameoed enough. You got it on Washington maybe, In God We Trust. Not on Liberty, not really on the date. And a couple of bag marks over here. A little chatter up here. Reverse is nice, nice toning, subtle toning. And based on those marks, I'm going to say they're going to call this a 5. Jesus. I'm really shocked with all the ones they've called 66. With that amount of chatter, which I know it's zoomed in and zeroed in. Still, it's kind of a head scratcher. Alright, the one that's worth the most is the $50. I'd be curious to see where this one ends up. Again, no cameo, but can we get to at least a 6 out of it? Six. Yep. I think overall that was fair and accurate. We won't spend a whole lot more time on this stuff. We will look at those early proof Franklins. 1951 proof 66. I mean, the price guide's at $700. That's pretty amazing. Obviously, they've sold for 5s, 4s. So again, it's always ambitious. So the 1953, I can't remember if it was a 5 or a 6. A couple $100, maybe less. 81S Morgan, 67. We'll look at the true views on those Franklins and a couple others. It's probably 450 and 67. I don't think it's rare by any stretch. Oh, 1150, I take it back. Wow. What a huge jump from 66 to 67. Holy majoli. Well, let's take a quick look at the true views. Starting with that 1958 Franklin, maybe. Might take a few minutes to load. So what do you think of those grades, folks? You agree with most of them? Disagree with most of them? What are your thoughts? Didn't start out too well, huh? There's the color on that 58 Franklin. Reverse. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What a trio of 81S Morgans. Incredible. Still a little bit, I mean, I'm not complaining, but a little bit mystified on the 83L. But can't complain overall. That's incredible right there. It's got to be all in the luster. Luster is so not underappreciated, but undervalued when people are grading these. Whether it's people grading them raw, people grading and selling raw coins on eBay, sending in their own submissions. I really do believe that they underestimate the importance of luster. You hear a lot of people analyzing their grades, and they're constantly referencing the lack of contact marks. Rather than complain about the grade, rather than bitch and whine and moan that there's no contact marks, they had to have gotten it wrong, why don't we stop and think why that grade is what it is? Why don't we ask ourselves, what is holding it back? And that's really how you learn, by humbling yourself a little bit. Instead of just always thinking they got it wrong and you're right. You know, not to say that they get it right every time, they don't. But when there's a pattern, when it's consistently happening, it's not by accident. You know, something can happen once or twice and have it be a mistake or a coincidence, but when it's a repeated occurrence, that to me tells me it's done with purpose more so than an accident. So we'll leave you with that thought. Leave your thoughts, comments, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Samscoinsandheavymetal.com, samscoinsandheavymetal@gmail.com, Instagram under the same name, eBay under the same name with underscores, Sams_coins_and_heavy_metal. We appreciate it. Thanks if you stayed with us this whole video. We appreciate it. It's an hour out of your life you'll never get back. Hopefully you got something out of it. Like, comment, subscribe. Your subscription would be very much appreciated. We're only at a few hundred subscribers, and we'd love to get to 1,000 someday. So with that, happy holidays, everybody. Wishing you all a safe and happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and any other holiday you may celebrate, and have a great weekend.